We bring you the morning edition of MBC News with me, Hilda Ngomano. Coming up this morning, women under Zokonda Amayi encouraged to be visionary and united to uplift their lives. Ministry of Health partners the Africa Center for Disease Control to intensify disease prevention efforts. And government commits to addressing financial challenges tertiary students are facing through loans. Glad you could join us. First Lady Professor Gertrude Mutharika has commended MBC for uniting women in the country through the Zokonda Amayi program. Madam Mutharika said this in Lilongwe during this year's Zokonda Amayi Macheza annual event held there. Madam Mutharika has since encouraged Zokonda Amayi women to be visionary, unite for a purpose to continue uplifting their lives and transforming their communities. Mwaintumodzi reports.
It was a night of color and glamour as hundreds of women dressed in style gathered to celebrate friendship they have built on the air through the Zokonda Amayi program. For years, MBC has been hosting Zokonda Amayi, which has transitioned from the air into physical groups, empowering the women economically, providing education and promoting healthy living, among other aspects. Through the program, the women have transformed their lives and impacted thousands of people in their communities. In her remarks during this year's Zokonda Amayi Macheza, First Lady Professor Gertrude Mutharika has commended the women for their dedication to promoting togetherness, engaging in charity work, and contributing to the country's socio-economic development. Madam Mutharika has since commended the MBC for empowering the women and has encouraged Zokonda Amayi women to maintain unity of purpose in order to achieve great things together. Madam Mutharika has since commended the MBC for empowering the women and has encouraged Zokonda Amayi women to maintain unity of purpose in order to achieve great things together.
Inandufuna ndayamika MBC chifukwa chokuti apangitsa kapena kuti ndamene afikitsa ubale umenewu kapena kuti azimayiwa kuti adzilumikizana bwinobwino.
On her part, Minister of Gender Mary Navicha said Zokonda Amayi is a powerful platform. Navicha says the program is complementing the ministry's efforts to empowering women, change livelihoods and promote inclusiveness.
Zokonda Amayi Macheza is a powerful platform for women to share experiences, ideas, and brainstorming together so that they will come up with solutions. And Zokonda Amayi has taken so many years. It's about 30 years. And we've seen our women doing various activities to uplift their lives. Women are in agriculture, women in business, women in politics. And they have also managed to uplift their families. They are able to send their children to school. So we are so happy.
News and Current Affairs at MBC said the cooperation is impressed with the impact Zokonda Amayi is making beyond the airwaves. Senga says currently the organization is navigating ways of enhancing engagement among the women in order to expand its impact.
They are in groups whereby they are implementing a number of development projects ranging from farming. Others are actually growing. This time around you can see that they are growing maize, irrigation farming, they are growing rice. All those things, they are meant to develop their lives, making sure that they are living a comfortable life. After they have done so, they have to look beyond their neighborhood. Some are even helping the needy, helping the elderly, building nice homes for the elderly. It's so touching what these women are doing.
The event brought together 450 Zokonda Amayi women from all parts of the country. During the event, MBC has recognized and awarded long-serving members of Zokonda Amayi. The women also went away with hampers. Mwaintumodzi, MBC, Lilongwe.
Vice President Justice Dr. Jane Ansah SC, retired, has called on different stakeholders to collaborate and support government's relief efforts to ensure that all food insecure households are benefiting from the initiative. Justice Ansah said this in Mangochi during a thank you mega rally for the Eastern region organized by the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP. She was responding to calls by traditional leaders who made a special appeal for food support. Owen Mavula with the report.
On 16th September 2025, over 5 million registered voters went to the polls to elect leaders in a decisive general election in which Democratic Progressive Party presidential candidate Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika secured a resounding victory after amassing over 3 million votes, representing 56.8% of the total valid votes. Among the regions where President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and the Democratic Progressive Party commanded a comfortable win is the Eastern, where people turned out in large numbers to cast their vote. In a show of gratitude for the vote of confidence, the Democratic Progressive Party DPP organized a thank you rally at St. Augustine II in Mangochi, where First Vice President Right Honorable Justice Dr. Jane Ansah SC, retired, joined party officials, traditional leaders and multitudes of people who gathered at the venue. Apart from commending the people for their overwhelming support, the Vice President assured them that President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika is aware of challenges affecting people in Mangochi and the Eastern region, which includes hunger.
Timadziwa anthu amene ali ovutikitsitsa, anthu amene ali ndi ulumali, anthu achikulire wokalamba, anthu amene mwina anaoneketsedwa zadzidzidzi nthawi yolima anadwala. Ndiye anthu amene watikwadziwa. Ndiye a president akupempha ife tonse amene tikumalemba mayina anthuwa kuti tilembe mwachilungamo mosakondera.
In his remarks, Democratic Progressive Party Vice President for the Eastern Region, Brighton Saka, thanked the people of Mangochi and the Eastern Region for the vote of confidence, saying it has helped the party reinforce its dominance.
Ndipo ndikuyamikira kuti munazipereka, munapita mise wina chodabwisa kuti koma kumene kutikafika, koma mmazipereka kukafika kuthandizira kampeni kuno ku Eastern Region. Ndikuthokozeni chifukwa cha mtima umeneyo. Success yathu inunso muli mbali ya success imeneyo. Kuwina tinawina ife kuja, inunso munapanga mphamvu kuti wina modele muja.
At the rally, the Democratic Progressive Party received some senior party officials from UDF and UTM respectively.
A high-level delegation from the European Union has visited Zomba to assess progress of the SP GEAR project, a social protection initiative supported by the EU and the Government of Ireland through UNICEF. The project is helping vulnerable households improve their livelihoods. More in this report by Arthur Chokot.
The delegation, led by EU Social Protection Desk Officer Vivian Rickler, has toured communities under Traditional Authority Kuntumanji to appreciate how SP GEAR is transforming families benefiting from the Social Cash Transfer Program. One of the families visited was that of Kennedy and Fanny Dinga, who have invested in farming and small businesses through project support and can now comfortably keep their 6 children in school. UNICEF says the progress in Zomba shows the impact of linking cash support with empowerment program. Amy Clancy is Deputy Country Director for UNICEF.
It's been a really wonderful program that we were able to see today. We were really able to see the transformational changes that have been made. We are very grateful for our partners that have been alongside us in implementing this program that is supported by the European Union and the Government of Ireland. This are partners with the government and specifically the Ministry of Gender, Child Rights and Social Affairs, as well as the District Commission for Zomba.
The delegation also visited Sakata Community Technical College, where TVETA and SP GEAR are supporting students from poor households with vocational skills training. According to Principal Secretary for the Ministry of Gender responsible for administration, Oliver Kumbambe, it is encouraging to note that the beneficiaries of the project have learnt various investment techniques.
We saw very poor families that are on the cash transfer program. And the cash transfer program that we saw has an additional element where people are being also trained in skills, vocational skills, but also the village banks. And we also witnessed on the ground what is happening. People are getting skills in nutrition, knowledge in nutrition, but also how to make their own money.
Executive Director of CRECOM, Marinafe Irene Chibwana, says the SP Gear project has inculcated a saving culture amongst the beneficiaries.
It's quite different from the first cohort that we had on social cash transfer. This time around, they are encouraged to be doing group savings and also do individual businesses. So far, there are quite a big number of the beneficiaries. Almost 80% of the social cash transfer beneficiaries are into VSLs, and most of them they are able to save.
Partners say the SP Gear project has proven to be effective in building resilience and lifting households out of poverty. For MBC, this is Arthur Chokoto reporting.
The South Korean government has supported the Malawi government in its efforts to increase food production through mechanized farming. South Korean ambassador to Malawi and Zimbabwe, Jae Kyung-park, has since made a donation of farm machinery to the Minister of Agriculture. The donation was handed over at Chipoka in Salima. Details in this report.
The donation comprises farm machinery including 5 tractors, 1 grain dryer and 3 plows, 3 harrows and 2 maize planters. Korean ambassador to Malawi, Jae Kyung-park, states that the equipment seeks to help Malawi's quest to mechanize commercial farming. Park has pledged to continue supporting Malawi in various sectors of development, including the agricultural sector.
I do hope these tractors will provide helping hands for the government to secure the food security for the people. I know it's challenging times during these times, but with the new government, new president and new minister, I could also feel the upbeat mood and positive upbeat mood and energy. We are hoping to contribute to the energy in securing the food, which is the very basic humanitarian needs.
Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachimbirizi, received the agricultural machinery on behalf of the government of Malawi. Mbirizi has hailed the continued support the South Korean government is rendering to Malawi. She points out that the current government is resolute to address food insecurity through mechanized and mega farm initiatives.
The President, Professor Mutharika, said it at his inauguration. He said it in Parliament when he was opening Parliament, and he meant what he said. And we are here to fulfill that promise. And what we are promising Malawians is that in the next 2 years, hunger will no longer be an issue. We'll have enough food, and the issue now will be mechanization, commercialization, making sure that agriculture is indeed an income earner.
The minister believes using handhole for farming has contributed to low productivity, hence the need for improving farming through mechanization. The South Korean government also made a similar donation of farming equipment and machines towards the same cause in March this year.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. Women under Zokonda Amayi encouraged to be visionary and united to uplift their lives. Ministry of Health partners the Africa Center for Disease Control to intensify disease prevention efforts. And government commits to addressing financial challenges tertiary students are facing through loans. Welcome back. The Ministry of Health has partnered with the Africa Center for Disease Control to intensify disease prevention efforts, which remain key to cutting down expenses on the procurement of medicines. 6 countries, namely Malawi, Lesotho, Uganda, Sudan, Libya, and the Gambia, have become pioneers in the initiative which seeks to integrate social and behavioral change into health service delivery. Africa Center for Disease Control Social and Behavior Change Coordinator Priscilla Kosena points out that promoting healthy habits and health-seeking behaviors could lessen the disease burden and help save both lives and money.
The understanding we have is that social and behavior change activities are low cost, but we also understand that most of the issues we battle with in Africa are also related to behavioral issues when it comes to uptake of health services. So once these activities around social and behavior change are actually part of critical healthcare systems, it will definitely lead to an increased uptake of health services, contributing towards universal health coverage.
Director of Planning and Policy Coordination in the Ministry of Health, Gerard Mantalu, also commented on the development.
For the past 2, if not 3 decades, donor financing has been at about 55%, and if we are going to, it's not very easy to replace that 55% in the next few years. So we have to actually think of a different way of, I would say, developing health, not healthcare delivery, because those are 2 different things, but how can we generate health in a different way? And one of the ways is to make sure that people at home, generate their own health. They engage in practices that improve on their own health, even without spending any money. So now the government or the ministry is moving towards reprioritizing everything we do, all the interventions across the board. And for us to do well there, we are trying to focus on very cost-effective interventions. And SBC is actually in the category of very cost-effective interventions. So as a response to the cuts, we must make sure that we are rethinking the way we develop health of Malawians. And one of those ways is to make sure that we as individuals on our own, we are engaging in practices that promote good health.
The Energy Technology Network, ENET, has called for flexible financing opportunities to boost access to off-grid electricity among rural masses. A member of the network, Admo Chumia, said this during the first annual general meeting of the network, which seeks to increase access to renewable energy technologies among Africans. Chumia adds that improving access to flexible financing solutions could go a long way in meeting Malawi's energy targets of reaching 70% of the people with electricity by 2030. Trust Office reports.
The first Energy Technology Network annual general meeting brought together participants from 6 African public universities with the purpose of showcasing green energy solutions that have the potential to transform Africa's energy deficit through renewable energy technologies. A member of the network, who is also the owner of Green Impact Technologies, has however stressed the need for affordable financing solutions to support both innovative solutions but also empower green entrepreneurs to boost energy access.
Lending rate is at 24.6%, but if they do the markup and all that, it's almost 35%. And now if I buy a product at that rate, I will not be able to pay back. Even I fit that information into a financial model, it will still give me like 5 years to repay back the loan, but with inflation I'll end up making a loss. So there are limited options.
And Deputy Director in the Ministry of Natural Resources, Energy and Mining, Saidi Banda, points out that government is working with other partners to support the growth of not only off-grid solutions, but also the growth of electric vehicles, which have the potential to minimize the demand for fossil fuels.
The electric vehicles right now are expensive. Most people cannot afford the electric vehicles. So what we're doing is to talk to the financing partners, local financing partners, so that maybe they can have financing schemes whereby maybe a person can go take a loan for financing an EV, then they buy and use an electric vehicle.
The Energy Technology Network, which is a consortium of 6 public universities like MUBAS, Makerere, University of Juba, Addis Ababa, Dar es Salaam, among others, is supported by the government of Norway with the purpose of building the capacity of higher learning institutions to develop high-end innovative solutions for the people. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Over 1,200 children between 2 to 5 years now have access to early childhood development centers at Group Village Simbi 1 under Traditional Authority Masaya in Chikwawa. This is after a social development and advocacy center constructed a school block and handed it over to the community through the district council office. James Kachepa reports.
According to Traditional Chief Simbi 1, for some years, children between 2 to 5 years in her village and nearby villages have just been staying at home for major 2 reasons. The nearby care centers were at a distance of 2 kilometers, and worse still, access to such education facilities required the children to cross the road every school day, a situation in most cases said resulted in such cases of road accidents, particularly children who attempted to cross the road on their own. But now the story is different. Despite the children accessing Early Childhood Development Center close to their respective homes, they are also no longer required to cross the road. This is after the Social Development and Advocacy Center constructed a school block with the funding from Luwena Foundation, having learned about the challenge through the district social welfare. Winfo Ngambi is the executive director for SODAC.
SODAC, we are so happy because the many children who have not been going to school, these children are the children who are aged between 2 to 5 years who go to the ECDs. They now have access to a safe environment where they will access good education as well as nutritious meals. We have over 5,000 children in Traditional Authority Masaya who don't have access to early childhood education. So we will join hands with the communities as well as with the donor community to make sure that even other children who don't have access to a center like this one.
It is not only the school block. In the efforts to improve the plight of the children, SODAC has also rehabilitated boreholes in the communities surrounding the education facility and some far from the education facility.
Yeah, as SODAC, we are so excited to have these children have access to clean water, and most importantly, we are very happy that now we have constructed this classroom block, which is an early childhood care center, ECD. We have been supported by the Luwena Foundation, which has supported us with financial as well as technical.
Mwaiwao Yapama is the chairperson of the core committee and promises providing good care of the facility just to make sure that more children continue to benefit from now and years to come. SODAC, a non-governmental organization, strives towards making sure that children have access to quality education, food and safe drinking water in their respective areas of residence. James Kachepa, MBC News.
Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Brighton Saka, has expressed the government's commitment to addressing financial challenges facing tertiary students through loans. Speaking at the launch of the Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences MUBAS Endowment Fund and fundraising golf tournament prize presentation at Blantyre Sports Club, Saka commended MUBAS for the initiative, saying it will promote access to university education for needy students.
Our universities are shaping and honing the skills of our citizens. We send our best and the brightest to our universities. Unfortunately, however, most of the best and the brightest come from families that cannot afford university fees and expenses. This day shows how the leadership of MUBAS has been created, not simply to teach and see the students leave university because they can't afford, but to make sure that every student that is interested in education is afforded the opportunity to finish schooling by making sure that money is raised for their education. This is special because the professors would simply be going to the universities to teach and come back. never caring about the welfare and the fate of the students. But here, the professors of MOBAS have taken it upon themselves to make sure that their students finish education because they have taken it upon themselves to raise money for their schooling. I say bravo to the professors.
MUBA's Vice Chancellor, Associate Professor Nancy Chitera, said the institution aims to raise 5 billion kwacha in 3 years to support needy students. The fundraising golf tournament raised 485 million kwacha, short of its target of 500 million kwacha. Team Nico 1, comprising Kwanele Ngwenya and Ignacio Kambale, emerged champions.
Apart from partnering with the institutions, even ourselves as an institution, we have put a figure from our own generated resources. We are moving to the fund on a yearly basis. The golf tournament was one of them. We have other activities such as dinners, but also contacting other philanthropists, not just in Malawi, but we have kind philanthropists outside there that would be willing to fund or to put into this particular fund. By the way, this fund, it's not just money that we are looking at. People can donate assets.
Well, that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. Women under Zokonda Amayi encouraged to be visionary and united to uplift their lives. Ministry of Health partners the Africa Center for Disease Control to intensify disease prevention efforts. And government commits to addressing financial challenges tertiary students are facing through loans. For more on these and other stories, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Sabara ino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Khalidwe amati ndi chuma koma masiku ano anthu amene ali ndi khalidwe akusekedwa.
Mtundu umene ndinakwatiwa kwene ndimakhala ndikuwusirira.
Munthu upita na chechi mwana sana osoli pa mtunda. Zimene wampanga mutumu ndi ku chechi sizikugwirizana.